discussion show where for this episode we are discussing independent wrestling, and I am with independent wrestling manager Mortimer Blankenship. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So in many ways, a lot of people don't value independent wrestling because their main focus is WWE, and if they don't like what they see on WWE, they stop watching. Would you agree?
There are some people out there that would stop watching wrestling because they don't think what's happening in WWE is what should be happening. Let's get something clear. WWE is far from wrestling. It used to be wrestling. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy watching it from time to time, but that's sports entertainment. Once it became sports entertainment, it took away from what wrestling really is. The reason fans get away from WWE is because they are smart to the business, and when they see, like, I don't know, like if someone I don't know, someone okay, John Cena. Let's get to John Cena. John Cena in real life, great person. In the ring, great person, does fine moves. He's the Hulk Hogan of our generation. I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid, but John Cena was getting boring to the fans. And you see, I go on the internet, I read all the different things that people say, and they're like, he needs to be a bad guy, or they need to do something new with him. Well, if they did that, if they turned John Cena into a heel, would he be a heel? No, because people would like the fact that he's a bad guy. So in essence, keeping him a good guy and people disliking him for being a good guy, for being the same old, is in fact, to some people, making him a heel. To all the people that are smarks, that think that they know more about wrestling than the people that are in the ring, that are people that are behind the scenes, they're pissed that John Cena, was. I mean, he's taking a break right now, but before that, why was the crowd divided? John Cena rules, John Cena sucks. Well, it's quite simple. The people that watch wrestling for wrestling, i.e. kids, kids watch wrestling because it's wrestling. I mean, to them, they're, it is, what they're watching is really happening. And John Cena is the superhero that could, take all these bad guys and, show them, kick their butts. Well, when it comes to the other people that say John Cena sucks, that's all these, people that are our age that have the internet and think they know more about wrestling than the wrestlers themselves. So, to kids, John Cena is the good guy. To all the smarts, John Cena is a bad guy because he plays a good guy. So, if people stop watching wrestling because WWE isn't doing what they want them to do, then they're not wrestling fans. Wrestling fans are the people that see, oh my God, this guy keeps winning and he's a bad guy, or oh my God, this guy keeps winning. In a smarts point of view, it'd be, oh my God, this guy is winning and he's not that great of a wrestler. I don't like this guy. I can't stand this guy. Why is he even in the WWE? Because he doesn't know how to wrestle. That's the new heel. The new heel is for Smarks, is somebody that they don't like, that they don't think deserves to be in the WWE. And I would hate I mean, I would love to do it. I would love to be a writer for the WWE, but I don't envy them right now because it has to be the toughest group of people to write for. So if people don't like it and they pull away from the WWE and don't like wrestling anymore because WWE isn't doing what they wanted to do, then they weren't wrestling fans in the first place.
Very true, and I couldn't agree more. To add to that, there are people who, you mentioned the people who don't know how to, the talent that doesn't know how to wrestle being the new heel, but it's the fans that also are getting behind the former indie guys, like Ambrose or Kevin Owens, and especially Cesaro,
Right.
who are incredibly gifted in the ring, but they don't feel like they're getting a chance in WWE. Even in Kevin
Right.
Owens' case, it's pretty obvious they're pushing him slowly.
Right. But he's getting a push. Uh, well, here's what I think about this. You can't push all the indie guys at the same time. It would take away from the effect. If WWE went out right now and put put 1 second. Sorry, I thought somebody was here. They can't just go out and all of a sudden be like, you know what? Kevin Owens is going to be the World Heavyweight Champ. We're going to put, and then we're going to make Dean Ambrose Intercontinental Champ, and then have Tyson Kidd come back and have Cesaro be tag team champs. As soon as that happened, everybody's going to be like, "Hey, our independent guys are at the top. Cool. Where do you go from then? Once all your guys are at the top, how are you going to continue to please all these people that want to, that want to see these independent guys get a push? They've got a push. They're on the main show. I mean, yeah, I agree. The independent guys need to be, I don't know, necessarily pushed or displayed more. I mean, for us independent guys, just to be in the ring is good enough.
And wouldn't, and then there's, some guys like a Cesaro don't fit the WWE model of a charismatic guy who's also good in the ring, because Cesaro isn't, I mean, he is charismatic, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But he just isn't the WWE charismatic.
Right. Well, I think the WWE has done their best to appease those who think that Cesaro deserves this push, by giving him things, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I mean, that the first one ever, he won it. I mean, he will forever be in the WWE history books. I mean, that in itself is a good push. You know what I mean? I don't know what do Smarks expect from the WWE? Do they expect them? I mean, no. And I hate to say this, but it's the truth. No wrestler that is in the WWE right now will be remembered like Hulk Hogan, like Randy Savage, like any of them. Why? Because it's not in its glory days anymore. And will it go back to its glory days? For the WWE, I will say no. I will say WWE will last for a while, but it's not. I mean, more people watch it now, yes, but you go up to a group of people, and I mean, John Cena being the only exception, and you go up to a group of people and you say, "Hey, you want to come to a wrestling show?" The first thing the people that are 25 and under say, "You mean like John Cena, like what he does?" Even if they don't know what wrestling is, and the people that are over that are like, "You mean like Hulk Hogan?" That we can't give that push to people that are in WWE now. How? What? I mean, you can put a belt on somebody, and you know what that means? It means they just have a shiny piece of metal around their waist. They're still going to go out and do the same thing that they've done night in and night out for years. I mean, what do they want to do? Put more gimmicks on them? I mean, you could put a gimmick. You could give Cesaro a brand new gimmick. Within 3 months, people will be saying it's dumb. That's because Smarks are never pleased. That's the problem with Smarks. Smarks will never be pleased.
Very true.
So how are we supposed to make something better when as soon as we make something better for them, they well, this person over here isn't getting a push. Well, you wanted this person to get a push. How are we supposed? It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And if people would stop watching wrestling with a cynical eye and just pretend that they're 6 years old again, sitting there watching a spectacle, wrestling would be what it was back in the Federation years.
I couldn't agree more. People forgot what it's like to be a fan, and yes. I don't think it was so much the internet's fault. I think it was the downswing in WWE's product, because they control or they have great power in the popularity and the opinion of the mainstream audience on wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, hey, WWE is responsible for WWE. But they can't control what the fans are going to say. I mean, the WWE could write the best storyline ever. And, ages 27 to 35 are going to love it. And everybody below that's going to be like, this is dumb. Why? What? You can't please everybody. I feel that... I mean, what can we do to make everybody happy when it comes to wrestling? In all honest opinion, everybody's oversaturated.
Do you think they need to bring the brand split back?
No, they need to bring the territories back.
Would that work with the internet and how the internet doesn't allow secrets so much?
I think it would. I think that if people already know that it's predetermined, people already know that it's a show. So why go digging deeper and trying to find out what happened in another town? It isn't wrestling's fault. it is everybody else's fault for thinking that they're Dick Tracy figuring something out about professional wrestling, when the fact of the matter is they don't know jack about it. They know, yeah, this really didn't happen, or that happened when in this town. Wait, he was a bad guy in this town, but he's a good guy in this town? Congratulations, you figured it out that he is a person who can play both roles pretty well. I mean, I don't see where people get what they get from it. Like, oh, wait. Like, just, last Sunday, I was down at a show and I managed two people that at another show are enemies. But guess what? We worked well, we put on a good show, and nobody's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? Because where I'm from, the show that I'm a part of, mostly NWA Supreme in Madison, Indiana, they don't look into that. They come out. We have a very loyal, very die-hard fan base, and I love it because you step through that curtain and it feels like it's 1980s Memphis. I mean, it's awesome. Because and even if they all do know, and some of them don't, I want to say most of them do. They don't care. They're there to see a show. And it's those types of fans that will keep wrestling going. I got a good buddy named Chad, and he loves, PWG, all the, a bunch of the independent stuff. And he knows that it's a show, but he doesn't go, oh, the other day that guy was, wrestling good, as a good guy, and now he's a bad guy. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense if you don't look into it. The storylines, like for instance, the storylines in the WWE, if they had territories, if they did a show, let's say WWE was still up in the north, Connecticut, New York, and all that, and you had the AWA here, and you had Memphis, USWA, all that. Wrestlers would travel from place to place, and they would play different roles. And nobody, because we didn't have internet, nobody cared. Nobody looked it up. What does it matter? If everybody already knows that professional wrestling is a predetermined sport, that it is a show, then why does everybody feel the need they have to look up what they did in some other town? It doesn't make sense. You're not going to find anything out other than trying to ruin wrestling for everybody else. It's people like that try to ruin wrestling for people who still love it for what it is, an art. It's people like that ruin wrestling no matter what level it is. Independent, going up to Ring of Honor, going up to TNA, going up to WWE. Those are the people that ruin it for people that love wrestling. Those are the people that ruin it for wrestling fans.
It's like those people that, hack the wrestlers and think they accomplished something.
Yeah. You didn't accomplish anything. You're an idiot that you're lucky you didn't get the living beat out of you. You know what I mean? I just... Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. Excuse me, I'm fighting a sneeze right now. This sinus infection's killing me. It just makes absolutely no sense. Why would you want to attack a wrestler? Why would you want to? Oh, I touched him. Cool. You probably could have went to the Waffle House after the show and seen him there and just be like, "Hey man, get an autograph."
Yeah, it's like that guy who hacked JR's account, Twitter account, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. I, why is that necessary? You, you're not gonna be you're not ever gonna be known for anything. I mean, yeah, you hacked stuff. Congratulations. Use your hacking for good, not for blowing stuff out your, what it's it really frustrates me that
mm,
I mean JR has been out of the big scene, the WWE scene for a while now. Don't get me wrong, hey, he's doing big things. He's doing really big things, but why? Why? What's the point of hacking someone's account? And when it comes right down to it, none of that crap matters. What I put on my Facebook doesn't matter. It's what happens in the show that matters. When you put it right next to each, for me, yeah, I have my Mortimer Blankenship Facebook, and I'm at the shows weekly. Let's say I write a post on Facebook that says, even better, let's go to the show. I go to the show, I'm facing somebody out there, let's say I'm, Billy Mattern. And Billy goes out, and I get in the ring, and I get in Billy Mattern's face. And he beats the living crap out of me. And everybody there saw that happen. Now, if I get on Facebook the next day and I put, everybody saw that I beat down Billy last night, what are they going to believe? What they saw or what they read?
good point. Good
I
point.
mean, is JR still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. So people need to learn how to look into things. Stop being sheep. and you'll give me a whole other rant about that. So many people get on Facebook and see where it says something's going to happen, and they automatically believe it. And that's stupid.
Yeah.
I have a rule. I need 3 credible sources before I even start to believe something in the slightest. For me to see JR's account saying that he died, or something along those lines, I would immediately research it. I wouldn't even be like, "Oh my God, he's dead." I would research it because apparently, according to the internet, the Undertaker dies every other year.
I heard about that too.
The Undertaker dies every other year, according to the internet. I mean, for anybody that's watching this, people can lie on the internet. Stop frickin' believing everything you read. Look into it. Don't be a lazy ass. Look into it and figure out the truth for yourself. It's all out there laying for you to find it. Just go find it. Instead of having to sit on your butt and let stuff come to you that is most likely wrong. And this isn't just with wrestling. If you really want to go find out the truth about wrestling, go find it. I mean, everybody already knows the truth. But if you want to be able to tell us what we're doing wrong in a show, buy a pair of boots, buy a singlet, sign a waiver, and get in the ring. And we'll show you how to wrestle.
Yep. Advice to live by for anybody else anybody out there who thinks they can do what you guys do.
Yeah. Oh, hey, the tornado siren's going off here in my town. There must be a tornado.
Well, perfect timing.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I don't have a basement, so I'll just sit here and continue to do this until either I get sucked away by a tornado or the morning's over. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Oh, I mean, now to bring things full circle, do you think that if the independent companies had more of a fan base like WWE, that would be better for the independent companies, or would it be worse?
It's a fine line. I don't know. That's a very good question. Um, I think that no matter what type of company it is, excuse me, independent or bigger, you're gonna have those fans that still think they know more about wrestling than the wrestlers themselves. And as you get bigger and bigger, those fans become more and more abundant. But what those fans need to really realize is when it comes down to it, I'm still going to be out there every Saturday night doing a show.
Yeah.
So I've done shows in front of hundreds of people. I've done shows in front of 3 people. So I feel that if the independent fan base got bigger, it could be either good or bad. It just depends if, as the fan base gets bigger, if they become sports entertainment fans or if they become wrestling fans, if you know what I mean by that.
I do.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. That's when, seeing companies like Paragon Pro Wrestling or House of Hardcore land national TV deals, it makes you think that, you never know what could happen next.
Right. Absolutely. It's true. I mean, being a part of the NWA, because it's huge. The NWA's getting bigger and bigger exponentially. What are you doing, Bill? Sorry, one of my dogs decided that it was going to hide under the bed the entire time. Oh Lord. Anyway. The NWA is growing exponentially. We are getting more and more fans. And, the January I'll be in Indianapolis doing a show, Circle City Wrestling. That crowd is, they do once a month shows. And that crowd,
I don't know if you heard a few months ago when NWA President Bruce Tharpe there was rumors going around the internet that Bruce had a meeting with Spike TV officials to try and get the NWA on Spike, but Spike, I guess the best way to put it is they're going in a different direction than wrestling. Do you think that the falling out with TNA and, with TNA switching TV providers so, frequently in the last couple years, and do you think what's happened with TNA dissuades TV companies from going to?
Well, what's happened with TNA is TNA's put a sour taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, I love TNA. I've always liked TNA, but not everybody likes TNA, and it seems a lot of people don't like it. God, my voice is gone. And the thing about, yeah, I mean, Spike TV said that they don't want to do wrestling because TNA really didn't pull the ratings. It's all a ratings game, all of it. It's horrible that it is. I mean, why? What? It's sad. Why does it have to be? Everything has to be about ratings because everything's about money. But then again, if the show isn't making money, then maybe nobody's watching it. So it's really it's sad the world revolves around ratings and money, but if nobody's watching wrestling, then why are they performing it? Are they performing it for each other? Yeah, the more you think about it, it's like, well, why does it even happen? I did hear about Bruce going, and Mr. Tharp is really trying, to bring the NWA back, because the NWA is wrestling. We are wrestling. We aren't sports entertainment. Yeah, we have storylines. Yeah, we have it. But unlike other shows, we are 80-20. 80% wrestling, 20% in that ring talking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ideally, I'd love wrestling to go back to the commentators say, well, let's see here. Wrestler A kissed Wrestler B's wife, and they're going to settle it in the ring. Let's go down there now. And then they go to the ring, and Wrestler A walks out. And as he's walking out, a little box appears in the corner, and it's Wrestler A cutting a promo on Wrestler B. Listen here, Wrestler A, you shouldn't have cursed, blah, 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 and they wrestle, and the ending happens, and they go back to the back, and the story has been told. Through wrestling. If a storyline takes more than 5 minutes of talking, then there's too much in that storyline for wrestling.
That's a...
If you have to explain, and I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying anything to put anybody down, but it's wrestling. It's like a male soap opera, but that's what my mom always told me. She goes, "You and that male soap opera." I'm like, I don't know. I watched The Young and the Restless too, Mom. It's okay. But it's. I would much rather see 7 matches on a card than 5 matches on a card with 3 promos. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. We have storylines. I have, but because it isn't like, in the 1930s, wrestlers came out and they would come out and wrestle. People like that. Then somewhere along the line, somebody thought, hey, let's make one guy clearly a good guy and we'll make the other guy a bad guy and see what happens. They did that. More people got into it. Then they said, hey, let's give them some outlandish characters, I mean, hey, rest in peace, but hell, Matt Bourne was a clown that wrestled. You know what I mean? At that point in time, people had to know this stuff might not be legit. But did they go online and try to find out? No, because they couldn't. But still, yeah, the dirt sheets existed, but people still watched it, and nobody questioned it. I mean, I miss gimmicks. I miss being able to watch it in total awe of. And every time you ask me a question, I get on a tangent. But I think that the NWA, even though we don't have TV, any networks, we do have the NWA network. You can get online and check that out. And I do believe that they're working on getting live shows on it. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to watch wrestling, for a change, you can watch wrestling if you want. instead of sports entertainment.
I will say that I will put a link in the description below for NWAClassics.com. It is cheaper. I know WWE loves to plug how much
It's not $9.99, but
the network is.
Yeah.
It is cheaper than the network, and in my opinion,
What is it?
better value.
$3.99 now?
I think it's around there, yeah.
Like $3.99 a month? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It really is.
And
it's
if you don't know the history of the business, you should. For $4 a month, man, if you can pay $9.99 for what WWE gives you, paying $4, what are you gonna do?
absolutely.
You know.
Plus, you might get a CD on there sometime.
Yeah. Do you think that the internet is to blame for what's happened to wrestling?
To blame the internet is like blaming. Oh, okay. To blame the internet would be like to blame guns for killing people. A gun itself, laying on a table, loaded, will not kill someone unless somebody pulls that trigger.
It's very true.
It's the people that use the internet to find out things about wrestling, and instead of... They didn't find things out about wrestling to become a wrestler themselves. If they love wrestling so much, why would they just find it out and then become a wrestler themselves? No, they found it out, used the internet to find out everything, to smarten themselves up, to ruin it for everybody else. It really is. It's just the fact that they have a... I don't know if it's cynical, I don't know if it's evil, I don't know if they were just, when they were born, God gave them a stick to stir up all the crap, but something. It's something. It isn't the internet. It's the people who used it for that reason.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. In terms of the people who, downright refuse to refer to the former indie guys that we mentioned before, and including the guys who are even down in NXT now, as the names given to them by WWE, and they still call them the names that they were called in the indies. Does that, I guess, do people like that cut people off from even going to wrestling?
The only reason they say that's because they think they know something that people don't know. People
True.
who don't care, the people that Smarks think are idiots are wrestling fans.
I agree.
A smart thinks that they know something because they can call, Dean Ambrose John Moxley. Oh wow, you really pulled one over on us there, bub. You know what I mean? Like, it's those people that think they know something, that think that they deserve, I don't know, they think they deserve something because they know it. I mean, do you want a cookie? I don't really know. I don't really know what to say to people like that. Yeah, his wrestling name used to be John Moxley. Congratulations. But WWE wanted to give him a name that they could copyright so they could make money off of it. He's still the same gimmick. I mean, come on.
That's true.
Same character. I mean, and people aren't dumb because they don't know that. People just don't. People just want to watch wrestling and enjoy wrestling for what it is at that moment in time. Those are wrestling fans. Wrestling fans go to wrestling to watch wrestling. They don't go to wrestling to tell everybody else, hey, that guy used to be called John Moxley.
And, you know, it's those people that, you know, as you put, you know, like you said, they're out to ruin it for everybody else because they don't like the fact that Moxley is Dean Ambrose or Daniel Bryan. I mean, Bryan Danielson is Daniel Bryan. Or Rollins is, Tyler Black is Seth Rollins.
Thing about people mad that they don't have the same names. How petty can you be?
They're pretty petty.
Yeah. Did Hulk Hogan go out and wrestle as Terry Bollea?
Not Terry Bollea, but Terry Boulder, yeah.
Right. But was he Terry Bollea? And then Terry Boulder, did Terry Boulder change his name to Hulk Hogan? Did people gripe about it?
No.
They watched wrestling. It just goes right along hand in hand with the fact that all these people these days are wussies. I mean, I don't think that there's an honest person out there nowadays that, and this sounds horrible. It's just everybody gets butthurt about everything now.
I totally agree. Couldn't agree more.
and I'm like, if you have nothing else to get butthurt over than wrestling, then your life is good. You're just looking for something to bitch about. Am I right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I can't say that I wasn't at one point a part of that group with people like, you know, Bryan Danielson and Caval, Low-Key. But that's just because I hated the name Daniel Bryan. But, you know, I got used to saying Daniel Bryan instead of Bryan Danielson, just like I got used to saying Seth Rollins instead of Tyler Black or Cesaro instead of Claudio Castagnoli.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's... I mean, I don't know.
So if you plan on talking to other people, they're not going to know who Claudio is.
People don't call Bray Wyatt Husky Harris.
That's true.
People don't call Ryback Skip Sheffield. I mean, what? I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they had that name in independent professional wrestling, but Ryback's name was the Silverback Ryan Reeves in OVW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they took his name, Ryan, and put back from Silverback and made Ryback. Do people gripe and moan about that? No. Why? Because he didn't really necessarily come from independence. He came from OVW.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter how you get there. If your goal is to get there, and you get there, congratulations. Here's your new name. Go have fun.
Yeah.
People need to stop griping about it.
Yep. Very true. I mean, a perfect example of that is Zack Ryder, because he started on the Indies with Hawkins up in NYWC, I believe, with Mikey Whipwreck. You know, and nobody complains about him changing his name from the Major Brothers to Zack Ryder.
Yeah, the Major, yeah. It's just, you know, if you don't like wrestling for what it is, then you don't like wrestling.
Very true. Very true. Now, with the fact that your position in the wrestling business is a manager, I'd feel sort of, like I missed something if I didn't ask. Do you believe that managing is made a little bit of a comeback and then fell right out of favor again?
It did. And if you're a wrestling fan, you like wrestling managers. If you're a wrestling fan, you like the fact that they piss you off.
Do you think they're a distraction from the, wrestler?
No, not if used correctly.
So,
a
like
manager,
Paul Heyman.
That whole distraction thing is, I hate that so much, because and this is, I love all my wrestling brothers, and I hope I've never taken away anything from their matches. However, entertainment in wrestling comes in different forms. I will never take away from a wrestler's match, but I will do things to entertain the fans, to make them mad at me, but I'll make sure that I do it to get the heat towards me and my wrestler. I don't do anything out there to take away from my wrestler. I just hate when people are like, well, you need to stop. I've had people tell me, well, you're taking away from the match. Okay, I did this while they had a chin lock applied. What other time do you want me to do my stuff?
True.
I mean, at what point if they're doing a whole bunch of stuff in the ring, I'm just there chanting my guy's name, so they'll start chanting the other guy's name. I mean, it's a good manager is. I think what they need to do is they need to bring managers back in NXT. Because a good manager is someone who understands the game. Someone who understands the logic in a wrestling match. How to have a good beginning, middle, and end. How to have, everything that needs to be there. Okay? And if you have new guys wrestling, and I'm not going to say necessarily just new, guys that have been wrestling for 3 or 4 years, they still don't. They're still new. They're still green. They still don't know exactly what they need to do. So, with me being on the outside, not being inside the ring, literally sweating buckets, breathing in, air like it's my job, I'm on the outside looking in, being able to diagnose what needs to happen in this match in case my guys get lost. A good manager can make a lost wrestler look like he knows exactly what he was doing from the start to the end of that match.
Good point.
I mean, I've had wrestlers, and I've pretty much managed Dino Stephanopoulos from his first match, minus maybe a few matches where he went baby. I was his manager, and I still am his manager. And he doesn't need to use me like he used to, but starting out, he'd look at me and be like, Morty, what do I do? And I'd be like, we always had this plan. I said, what you're gonna do, kid? I said, you're gonna do a move to the guy and tell him to stay there. At that point, I'll call for you. You come over to me. We'll talk. I said, I'll tell you what your next 3 moves need to be, or whatever you need to do next to make this seem right. I said, then you'll bring your opponent over, choke him on the ropes. Okay, choke. Get the ref's attention. I'll choke him. While I'm choking him, I will tell him what those next 3 moves are going to be, so he knows. So the match goes smooth. So, if they brought back managers who actually got involved in matches, which, believe it or not, I saw a wrestler that acting as a manager get involved in a match on WWE, and I couldn't believe it. When Xavier Woods threw that trombone or whatever it was at TLC, I couldn't believe they actually did that. They actually let someone get involved in a match. But it's the Smarks that kill managers.
Do you think with the concept of Classic Wrestling Revolution, Shane Douglas's, the promotion that Shane Douglas has a hand in, where legends like himself and Road Warrior Animal and other legends will be managing, I'm guessing, newer talent and mentoring them?
That's genius. That's exactly what it needs. It's exactly what NXT needs. I'm not saying they're not good. They're good. But you can see where they get lost sometimes.
Do you think Dusty, God rest his soul, would have fit well in that category?
Yeah. I mean, the one person that doesn't get enough credit when it comes to any professional wrestling that would be perfect to go on WWE and be a manager. Hustler Rip Rogers.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure he used to train down in OVW, right?
He still does.
He still does. Yes,
he is still a trainer down there. He's a great guy. He knows what he's doing. I mean, the man. How many guys has he trained that has made it to WWE? I mean, other than you can name John Cena. Yeah, that's one of them. But what, John Cena, Randy Orton, just to name a couple of them. I mean, I think what is it, 64 people? I don't remember. I can't remember the number, but
it's probably up around there. Yeah,
it's in the 60s, I believe, that he is trained, and they're now in the WWE or have been in the WWE. It's because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like if WWE was smart, they would take him on as a trainer down at NXT. I mean, yeah, the guy has two replaced hips, and he doesn't bump very much anymore, but he can train. He still trains. I mean, he's. I have nothing but respect for the man. He's such a good trainer, and if he'd be able to watch his mouth, they don't call him the foul mouth ripper for any reason. I think he'd make a great manager. I mean, Dutch was doing a great job as a manager.
I agree.
And sorry, I just did what I don't like. Zeb Coulter was doing a good job. It's just, one of his last shows before he went to the WWE, back to WWE, was with us. So he's a good guy, and he knows what he's doing too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they felt the need to put him in a hover round, but and what are they going to do with him now? Have they decided they're done with him, or?
I guess the best way to put it is he's pulling a Damian Sandow. disappearing act.
That's a really, yeah.
Relevant, disappear.
That's crazy. I don't.
Yeah.
You don't see people calling Damian Sandow Aaron Stevens. Back to that whole. You know what I mean? I just.
Yeah. That's a good point. That is a good point. Well, most people don't remember him, his first run in WWE.
Right.
When he was up with, I forget his partner's name, but it was him and his partner with Michelle McCool.
Is that Gunner? What was his name? Oh my gosh, the Shooter. What was that his gimmick? Oh wow, what's his name? I used to watch him in OVW, and I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, I think I know
Brent
who
Albright.
Oh, it was Brent Albright.
Brent Albright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was Brent Albright's like third time in WWE's main roster.
Yeah.
Speaking of a trainer down there that might be a good manager, what about Adam Pearce?
Yeah. Ideally, all the trainers down there could probably be good managers. I mean, but like I said, I think Smarks killed managing.
I mean, I'll ask you this.
In the WWE, at least.
I'll ask you this. You might remember when WWE gave Curtis Axel to Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Do you think that Paul was too big for Axel?
No, I think Paul, being the big guy that he is, should have pulled Axel into more of a main scene.
Do you think they never gave Axel a fair shot to be with Paul?
Not really. There are so many people in wrestling that deserve a good shot, but there are a lot of guys there that could really do well with a good manager.
That's true.
Like, I think if they would take, here I am doing that. I can't think of his name in WWE. I can think Brody Lee, Luke Harper. There we go. I couldn't think of it to save my life. I think if they took Luke Harper and got him out of the Wyatt family, because they didn't know what to do. They got him out of the Wyatt family. All of a sudden, he's back in. Or was it the other guy? Whatever.
Both of them.
Yeah, you're right. Both of them. They had nothing to. They took him out. They're like, "What are we going to do with him now?" He is a great wrestler.
I totally agree.
And if they had a manager, not another wrestler that talks, Bray Wyatt's a great wrestler. He could also be a great manager, but you can't be both.
Yeah.
So, if they would take somebody like, I'm not saying Paul Heyman, but I don't know,
like
somebody completely new,
like a Harvey
a Mortimer
Winkleman.
Blankenship, right? they took somebody that comes out, and I don't. Harvey Winkleman might work, but I'm thinking like somebody who can take this backwoods.
Adam Pearce probably.
God. Huh?
Adam Pearce.
Yeah. Take this backwoods country guy and either change him and mold him into something different, or harness the fact that he is so cutthroat and so crazy, and he doesn't even have to say a single word, and people will fear him.
Maybe
You know what I
Jericho
mean?
when he retires.
Oh my gosh! It's just he wouldn't have to say a single word. The manager could say everything for him, and he could just stand there panting away, and people would be like, "Oh, this guy's serious," and he doesn't even have to say a single word.
Very true.
That's the beauty of managers. I mean, if you ever talked to Johnny Justice, back when I managed him, he never said a single word. He just nodded, smiled and nodded, just evilly smiled, and you know. And now where is he? After having me as a manager, he's gone on. He's the NWA Supreme Champion. He's number one contender for the NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Belt. He's going to face Shawn Schultz on January 29th in Seymour, Indiana, for that belt. I mean, that belt was held by Dutch Mantel like 13 times or something like that. It's a prestigious belt. I mean, Johnny Justice. I mean, it wasn't a long reign, but he has tied Matt Bourne for the shortest reign of the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Belt since then. He defeated Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm.
They both held it for one day. Well, Bad Blood it's still a streak, so Bad Blood has held it for over a year, and he just was a co-title holder with Johnny for a day.
Mm.
I mean, and starting out, I was Johnny's manager because I could do the same thing. I could, hey kid, do this. Hey buddy, do this. And make his matches smooth. And Johnny knows where he is in the ring. He's faced Eric Andrews. He's faced Bad Blood. He's faced Rob Conway. The man, he knows what he's doing in the ring. And he's making his way up. I hear that, he's doing really well. That's all I can say. He's doing really, really well, and I'm proud of him. He was literally just one of my best friends that I had gotten into the wrestling business, and he came to some shows, and I said, "Would you like to do this?" And he said, "Yes." I got him in training classes with Eric Draven, and boom, there you go.
So that's a great story.
And 4 years down the road, we're doing shows in starting in March. We're gonna be doing shows in Vicksburg, Mississippi, once a month. It's gonna be, I think it'll be awesome.
Well,
NWA Heritage, I think it's called.
Well,
gonna be.
Considering this is a discussion show about independent wrestling, it would be wrong of me not to ask any shows you want to plug coming up next year.
Yeah. Sure. Let's see here. Mostly NWA Supreme has shows every Saturday night at 2520 Lanier Drive in Madison, Indiana. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7:30. Tickets are $7. We do a weekly wrestling show. I mean, and then on top of that, we have Friday shows that are like benefit shows. And that's a lot. That when you think about it, that is a lot of shows to do a year. And we got to keep our storylines going and everything. We do family friendly, so if you're ever around the area, come on down and check us out. January 10th, I'll be a part of Circle City Wrestling, NWA Circle City Wrestling. One night only. Mr. Anderson's going to be there. Rob Conway's going to be there. Godzilla Jack Stay, Drew Skills, and I don't remember the ticket price, but that evening it's gonna be a good time. Oh, Road Warrior Animals gonna be there too, and that'll be a one heck of a show. And then, like I said, starting in I believe it's March 13th, NWA Heritage in Vicksburg, Mississippi. I'll be there too. So check us out. It's slowly but surely. January 29th, NWA Supreme presents Pinnacle. It's usually our biggest show of the year. It's the one that Johnny Justice will be facing Sean Schultz for the NWA Mid-America Heavyweight title. And I believe Rob Conway is going to be there. And I'm going to call out the Blue Beetle at that show, I think, because I haven't seen him around very much lately. Blue Beetle was a former wrestler of mine, and he came back last week, and I want to keep calling him out every week to see what just to show him what I have in store for him. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to try. I don't know. If he shows up, it'll be interesting. But we got January 29th. Tickets are $10 at the door, $8 advance, available at Brooklyn Pizza in Seymour, Indiana, and B2 Bikes and Boards in Seymour. Same thing. 6 o'clock doors open. 7:30 bell time, and it's all the proceeds. Majority of the proceeds go to the Anchor House, the local homeless shelter and canned food center.
And how can people find you on social media?
You want to look me up on Facebook? I believe I'm the only Mortimer Blankenship on Facebook. I'm pretty sure. If you look Mortimer Blankenship on Facebook, if you want to talk to me on Twitter, it's Morty Buddy. Also, Facebook.com/NWA Supreme. You get all the NWA Supreme stuff. Other than that, that's about it. Come give me a hard time on Facebook, and I'll show you what a good wrestling manager will do to that. To someone who time on Facebook.
Well, my friend, I thank you for joining me.
Awesome. I had a good time. Sorry about all the coughing and stuff.
No problem at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out this store and get some food. I'm hungry.
So.
Well, I appreciate you getting a hold of me.
No problem. Thank you very much for coming on.
If anybody wants to check out NWA Supreme online on YouTube, our buddy one of our fans makes a fan-made fan-made show on NWA Supreme TV.
That's cool.
He just started it. Jason, so you go to YouTube, put in Jason Cohen NWA Supreme, and it should come up.
Good plug for him.
I mean, I'm thankful we have, like I said, we have diehard fans. They do stuff like that for us.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll have a good
You
one.
too.
The fact that it's the day before Christmas Eve and the tornado siren just went off. The weather's a little messed up. No wonder I'm getting sick.
Yeah. It's downpouring by me, so it's not much better over here.
Yeah, well, what are you? Are you East Coast?
Yeah.
Thought so. I mean, I didn't know what you were going to look like, because on your Facebook you look like a little puppy dog. So I'm like, am I getting interviewed by a puppy dog today? I don't know. I even said that to Dino the other night. He thought that was hilarious. But have you talked to Roger Malcolm much?
Yeah. Yeah, I got something lined up with him at the end of the month.
Cool. He's a good guy. He's very interesting, dude. Has he told you about his Clash Hollywood yet? His website?
No, he'll probably mention that in the interview.
Yeah, he. I told him you guys could probably get together and plug each other.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to.
Sites. Yeah, Clash Hollywood. He reviews movies and wrestling and all different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Oh,